sports fans, and welcome to Sports Desk with me, your host, RJ Nudds. Today we'll be turning our attention to the NFC East, the division that plays home to the current Super Bowl champions, the New York Giants, and asking what those teams can expect to happen to their rosters during free agency and the upcoming draft. Now, it's pretty rare for me to criticise the NFL at all. I feel the Commissioner tackles all serious issues head on. He's big on player safety, on giving fans good quality football for their money, and also on expanding the profile of the National Football League abroad. But the coverage can be damn biased sometimes. In a sport that survives and thrives on statistics, patterns, repetitions, dynasties are all favoured over the humble underdog stories that capture the public interest for a brief moment, but then fade faster than a Tim Tebow thrown deep ball. The talk leading up to the Super Bowl was all about the Patriots' quest for vengeance after their humiliating defeat to the Giants in Super Bowl 42, and whether Tom Terrific Brady could align himself with Super Bowl greats Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw by finally winning that elusive fourth championship. But as history will remind us in years to come, it wasn't Brady who lifted the Lombardi Trophy in February, but his emerging rival Eli Manning of the New York Giants, who are of course the current defending Super Bowl champions and need a lot more respect than they have thus far been given. There was a brief hurrah for the Giants when they won their fourth Super Bowl in the franchise's history, but the news for celebration soon disappeared in favour of the sudden free agency of Eli Manning's much more famous and far more celebrated brother, Peyton Manning, who was jettisoned from the Indianapolis Colts following the fourth neck surgery in 3 seasons and a whole year of being on the bench. The Colts were expected to take Andrew Luck, the Stanford quarterback, with the number 1 pick of the draft, and will move forward without Manning, who has remarkably landed in Denver, of all places. He'll be playing at Mile High Stadium with John Elway in the office, overseeing Manning's progression as the team's new starting quarterback. And he moved there in a blockbuster trade that sent the Broncos' season saviour, Tim Tebow, all the way to New York to compete with Mark Sanchez, who the Jets just recently committed to with a huge contract. So that move, it's been causing some head scratching around the league already, but it might work out. We'll have to wait and see. So all we've had in the off season really is talk about Peyton and focusing on the vacillation for quarterback's decision between the teams contending for his signature. And now the decision's been made and he's gone to Denver, the odds of them adding their 3rd world title have come in to almost match the Giants adding their 5th. So let me just repeat that. The odds of Denver now winning their 3rd Super Bowl with Manning at the helm almost match those of the Giants repeating the feat that they performed just a couple of months ago. And this is typical of the lack of respect shown to the Giants. As soon as they win the Super Bowl, they drift straight out to 30-1, 20-1 odds on favourites to win the contest again, which seems a little odd, given that Denver last year was an 8-8 team that won games primarily due to its defence, in fairness, and so the thought that an offensive superstar might be able to lift the team is perhaps valid. It all seems a little bit too much for me. Now, honestly, I wanted the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this past February because of history, and I can't for the life of me understand why history doesn't give more respect to the Giants that have won now 2 of the last 5 Super Bowls. Their team looks pretty stable. It looks like it isn't going to change too much. They're not destined to lose any irreplaceable starters. And I finally put my annual bet on who will win next year's Super Bowl, and I'm more nervous than ever. Already, I placed my bet on the San Francisco 49ers when they emerged as a potential 3rd suitor to Peyton Manning in the battle for the legendary quarterback signature. Unfortunately, they lost out, of course, to the Denver Broncos, and their odds drifted from 12.5 to 1 right out to 18.5 as soon as the news was announced that Manning would be suiting up in navy and orange this coming season. I also stuck a small side bet on the Chicago Bears, who are quietly building a very, very powerful roster, with Matt Forte obviously locked down as a free agent in the backfield. Their number 1 rusher is secured for another season. Michael Bush of Oakland, who has the potential to be a feature back, but works very well as a 1-2 punch kind of guy, has moved over to the Windy City as well to add some weight to Forte's rushing attack. Marion Barber, the 7-season former Cowboy player, has unfortunately retired, hung up his cleats after maybe losing passion for the game and feeling like it was pushed out by the addition of Bush to the roster. But Chicago looked to get better in other areas of offense as well, with Jay Cutler returning from a thumb injury and Brandon Marshall having been signed by the Dolphins. The link-up between Cutler and Marshall was, of course, absolutely incredible when they played together in Denver during their early seasons, and their reunited play should see Chicago really challenge for the NFC North.